What up? It's your boy, Luke for Prez, back yet again with another video for you guys. Hope everyone is doing great out there. I have spent the last few days analyzing the top 100 best-selling beats on Beatstars at this very moment, and I'm going to be sharing the results of that research with you today so that you can see exactly what is working best for the top producers on the platform and how that data can be utilized to help you sell more beats online. If you're new to the channel and you're interested in music producer marketing related content, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button if this is helpful. That's all I can ask for, you know what I'm saying? Nothing crazy. And with that out of the way, let's get into this analysis. So I decided to analyze 7 variables when it comes to the top 100 best-selling beats on Beatstars. Those variables are genre, price, play count, artwork type, tag type, info in title, and free download option available. I'm going to cover the findings on each of those variables and also give some thoughts and analysis of my own based on the data. We'll start with the genres. The genres representing the biggest percentages were as follows. Trap made up 53% of the total, followed by R&B at 17%, boom bap at 6%, drill at 5%, and 19% other. Acoustic guitar was actually the biggest genre within that other category, coming in at 4% of the overall top 100. So I'm not terribly surprised by the results when it comes to genre. Trap is still dominating. Now, I left it very broad in terms of what constitutes a trap beat. If I were to get a little bit more in depth, that 53% could be broken down into 3 main subcategories, which I consider to be hard trap, which would be like a club banger or anything where you're really gonna get some bars off on. There's not gonna be much singing or melodic elements involved. And then melodic trap, which is basically the opposite. Think like a Juice WRLD type beat, Kid Laroi type beat, where there's more room for the artist to harmonize with the top melodies. And then the third subcategory within trap would be like soulful trap. So soul samples over trap drums. There's a lot of those in the top 100 as well. Melodic trap was actually 14% of the overall results. Hard trap was 22%, which made up the biggest slice, and soulful trap was 14%. So that's how I broke down trap specifically, because that's such a broad genre that really makes up most of modern rap music. And yeah, clearly that's still going strong. 53%, more than half of the beats in the top 100 is some type of trap. So that's definitely a safe bet to continue making that type of music if that's something that you like, because the people still crave those hard 808s, those crazy hi-hats, all of the classic trap tropes, if you will. Clearly there's still a market for R&B as well. That's a genre that's survived and evolved right alongside rap, and I expect to continue to see that in that number 2 slot going forward. The thing that surprised me the most was that drill only made up 5% of the top 100. I would have expected that number to be a bit higher, because I feel like, at least from my perspective, drill continues to gain popularity. I'm actually going to be checking back later on to see if maybe in a few months that number grows. At the end of the day, make what you're good at, make what you enjoy making. You will be able to carve out a niche for yourself. There's still a market for some of these smaller genres. You know, boom bap got 6%. It's going to be a lot easier to stand out with some of those smaller subgenres. There's going to be a lot of less competition, so that's a positive thing, but there's also going to be a smaller audience for those compared to trap, let's say, which is a lot more mainstream at this very moment. So moving on, the average price of the cheapest lease type on the top 100 list is $28.59. This is right in line with my current pricing structure, so I was actually pretty pleased to see this number. It looks as though the market has determined that about $30 for an MP3 lease is the gold standard, if you will. So if you're a producer who has begun to start selling beats, people are actually giving you money for your instrumentals, and you're charging less than $30 for an MP3 lease, it might be time to consider upping that number to at least 30 bucks, because people are clearly willing to pay that amount for an MP3 lease. Moving on, up next, we have average play count. The average play count of a beat in the top 100 is 97.5 thousand plays. This took me a little bit by surprise because that is a very large amount of plays. But it's good to wrap your head around this particular metric so you know what it's going to take to most likely crack that bestseller top 100 list on the Beatstars platform. If you think about it, it makes perfect sense, right? It's just a numbers game at the end of the day. The more people listen to your music, the higher the likelihood is that someone will purchase it. So a primary objective for your beat business should be to up those play counts, because clearly there's a correlation between play count and sales to some degree. This was actually really eye-opening for me specifically because my top played beat on Beatstars is nowhere near the average of the top 100 bestsellers. My most played beat is called Aggressive Expansion, and it currently has about 46,000 plays. That's like half the average of the top 100. I found it really interesting because I actually spend thousands of dollars on paid ads to drive traffic to my beat stores. And while Aggressive Expansion is consistently in the top 3 best-selling beats on my website, it's clearly not enough to break the top 100 best-selling beats on the entire platform. This has actually led me to believe that a lot of the top producers are utilizing Beatstars promo to up their play count numbers. If you look at any of the top 15, 20 on the top charts at any given time, you'll notice a lot of them have a ton of engagement, likes, comments, reposts, way more than I get because most of my traffic goes straight to my website as opposed to the Beatstars marketplace. So I don't have any proof of this, but it is my suspicion that more top producers than you might think are utilizing the Beatstars promo option. Next up is artwork, and I broke this down into 2 subcategories basically. Does the beat use an artist for the thumbnail, or does it use some other type of artwork? Surprisingly, 60% of the beats in the top 100 used artwork other than an artist as the thumbnail, and 40% did use an artist as the thumbnail. This was especially counterintuitive to me because the conventional wisdom on YouTube is that beat videos with artists as the thumbnail do better, get higher click-through rates, higher engagement, etc. But apparently that does not directly translate over to Beatstar. I think this is actually an encouraging thing for producers because it should make you realize you don't have to be pigeonholed into doing what everybody else is doing. The opportunity exists for you to come up with a unique thumbnail scheme, and you can use that to be successful with selling beats online. On the other hand, 40% is still a huge amount. So if you are someone like me who's currently using artists that the beats sound similar to as the thumbnails, you obviously can still be successful doing that as well. Tag type. To upload to Beatstars, you're required to enter 3 description tags to make it easier for artists to find you who are searching for beats on the platform. This is basically the Beatstars metadata. 77% of the top 100 included artists in their tags. 49% included the style or genre in their tags, and 2% included an instrument that they used in the beat. Obviously that adds up to more than 100% because there was some overlap. About 30% of people in the top 100 used a combination of artist and mood or genre in their tags. I think that is actually a winning strategy, especially because, at least for me, it's oftentimes difficult to think of 3 artists that a beat sounds similar to. So utilizing a combo of artists and the mood or vibe, I think is a good thing that I'm actually gonna start implementing more going forward based on this research. Info in title. So what I mean by this is, do you just put the name of the beat as the title, or do you include some additional information like Travis Scott type beat or buy 2 get 1 free? Is there any other info in the title other than the title? 58% of the top 100 beats on the charts used some form of additional info in the title, while 42% only had a creative beat title, and that's it. This is a small but underutilized tactic that I'm actually gonna start implementing on my own beat store soon, because I'm one of those people that just has the creative title in there. But I think the title space is a great opportunity to use to further sell your beat, or at least further encourage would-be artists to click play. Use that space as an opportunity to promote a discount that you're currently running, to describe the beat in more detail, and you can use these in conjunction with your thumbnail scheme. Like, for instance, if you're one of those people who does have some type of artwork as your thumbnail as opposed to the artist, maybe you want to include what artist the beat actually sounds like. Conversely, if you do use an artist as your thumbnail, you probably don't need to put Drake type beat if there's a big picture of Drake right there, right? So maybe you want to use that title space for describing your buy 2 get 2 free deal that you have currently, or a discount code, or perhaps the mood or BPM of the beat you could put prominently there. So it's just up to you, but I definitely think, you know, the majority of the top sellers are doing that, so it's something you might want to consider implementing in your beat business today. And lastly, we have the free download option. What percentage of the top 100 included the option to download a free version of the beat? The answer is 62% offered some kind of free download option, while 38% did not. This should dispel the notion that it is impossible to make money and have a sustainable business while giving out free beats simultaneously. If I had to guess, I would say that most of these top producers who are offering free download versions of their beats are utilizing some form of email marketing to follow up with those people and encourage them to upgrade to a real license. If that's the case, it's clearly a viable strategy, because we're seeing the large majority of the best-selling beats use this in their uploads. This is something that I've grappled with since the very beginning of my production career. It's really hard for me to wrap my head around giving free beats out, but the data is the data, and it's something that I'm gonna start implementing more. Currently, I have a handful of beats available for free download as sort of a pilot test run type of thing, but I'm probably gonna be expanding that here going forward pretty soon. And now I actually have a bonus metric for you, and this bonus metric is the most important metric of all. 100% of the top 100 best-selling beats on Beatstars right now are great fucking beats. The music has to be good, or none of this other stuff matters. Every single beat in the top 100 has amazing mixing, arrangement, sound selection, you name it. Regardless of the subgenre, they are killing it in their lane. I think oftentimes we as producers can get bogged down in the minutia of the marketing process. I'm for sure guilty of this, and most of my content is centered around how to sell beats online using paid ads or other tactics. But at the end of the day, if your beats aren't top notch, you're not gonna get sales. And I think that's something I need to reinforce more in my audience and in myself, because I'm constantly getting caught up in trying to rewrite my marketing emails better, or write a piece of an ad better that makes more sense, or whatever, right? There's like a million things that can distract you from the most important element of this entire process, which is the quality of your work. So at the end of the day, that is what you should be focusing on the most at all times, regardless of where you are in your production career. And there you have it, folks. That is my breakdown of the current top 100 best-selling beats on the Beatstars platform. I hope you found this video useful and enjoyable? If so, please consider hitting the like button, leaving a comment, hitting that subscribe button. These are all things that help the YouTube algorithm and help me grow my channel, which I am so desperately trying to do at this time. Thank you again. I'm getting out of here. I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.